Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to use n8n to build a complete server specific to your requirements. We're going to do this easy and quick. So let's get started. Let me quickly show you a demo of a very simple server that I have here. It can do three things. It can read my emails, it can send an email, and it can create a new event. I have already configured all this into my Claude desktop, right? And I'm going to tell you how we go about this. But first, I'm going to ask it to send an email to Akshat saying that this is a great day to go out. As you can see here, once you click on this search and tools option, you can see an option of n8n. Gives me an option to allow this. You have n8n and all the tools that I have access to. Now it has already sent an email automatically to great day to go out and a message to get outside. Show you the email that, as you can see, this is an email that we just got delivered, 10:52, great day to go out. We wrote the email itself also. Hope you're doing well, just want to let you know XYZ, blah blah blah. The point is we can go back to it and see the executions that are happening. If I come to executions and save this, right, you can see that automatically executed right away, like in 8 milliseconds, and it executed this and sent out an email, right, and it will load in a second and you will be able to see the workflow. This is how you can build a complete MCP server very quickly, right? I can ask it to go ahead and create an event with the same person for tomorrow, right? And I can just say that and it will automatically go ahead and create an event using the calendar event. It will ask me to allow it to create it. It will take a couple of seconds. As you can see, it's using a tool. Because I clicked always allow, it automatically created an event. Not only that, I have actually got a ping on my phone which has an event automatically created. You have it created properly. And now let's come to on how we can build this server for ourselves and integrate it all together. So let's come back to n8n. Right now we have these options. If I had to recreate this particular server, I'll show you by creating a new workflow. So click on new workflow and say demo MCP2. And now first step is we're going to click and search for MCP and you're going to get a server trigger. So select server trigger. You have an option to add an authentication. Just for the purpose of the tutorial, we are going to keep it to none. Now we can change the path. I'm going to change it to demo MCP2 and then we can add anything that you want. This becomes your path. This is your test URL. We are going to use production URL for our MCP. Right now, just click on copy. But before that, we also want to give it some tools. Right. So let's say we're going to add a very simple tool. We're just going to add I'm going to add a calculator tool, give it an option to calculate stuff to show you how we can add this server. So you have the URL, you have everything. Now what you're going to do is come to Claude and we're going to start a new screen and click on File and click on Settings. You can also press Control comma or Command comma on any option. Once you come here, click on Developer. I already have a server that is running. You will come and click on Edit Config. Once you click on Edit Config, it will open this particular file that you can edit. This is Claude desktop config JSON and you can open that. This is how you can add your MCP server. This exact command will be available in the description, so you can copy and paste it. The only thing that you have to do is change this particular URL. This is the MCP server that I have posted. I'm going to change it to this. This is the new MCP server that I have now. You can just change the URL and you will be good to go. Once this is added, it will automatically save itself. We need to reopen Claude to restart the server. So we're going to close this and also make sure you close it from the notification bar because sometimes it does not quit. And then you're going to open Claude again. Now, once you open Claude again, you will see MCP server already configured. And if I click on tools, I'll just have to click on tools and see the MCP server listed. You come here and you can see n8n, and right now we have a calculator option, which is the only tool that is available. So I can ask it do 5 into 45 x 45, whatever, like again the number comes out to be, but it can automatically go ahead and trigger the MCP server. Now it will go ahead and ask you to allow. I just click always allow and it will go ahead and run their own flow. Perfect. The answer is 1125. Let's see on how you can add more tools. You come back here and you click on adding tools. So we want to add a Gmail tool the same way that we wanted to send an email. And we can come here and just select automatically define a tool. You don't need to do anything here. You can just define it and then let it be. Drag and drop any amount of tools that you want. Just search for the tool that you want to integrate, and if it already has an access to it, like Google Calendar, you can very easily add all of those information. And this is how you can add multiple tools. One more cool thing that you can do is you can select call n8n workflow tool, right? You can select from database, and from list I can select a particular workflow that I like. So for example, if you see, we have a demo MCP server, right, which was the previous demo MCP tool that we created. We can also add it to very simply AI newsletters, right? So this is a workflow which requires to automatically call this tool to generate newsletters, right? And we select that, and I'll actually go ahead and show you how does the tool look like. So we come back here, you can see AI newsletters, right? Let me bring As you can see, this is an AI newsletter which simply creates and sends an agent. I had a tool for Gmail here, but I don't want to use that. Right now, it's there. I can select it on active. And what happens now is very simply, if I come back to the overview, you can see demo MCP2. You can see into this workflow that we have another workflow that we're calling the n8n workflow, right? Very simply, like, change this by when executed by another workflow. There was a small tweak that I had to make. Instead of the trigger by clicking, I had to change the trigger to when executed by another workflow. We come back here and ask it to generate a newsletter and show us the output. Topic is end of time, right? Let's say end of time in life. I'm just giving a crazy topic, and it will go ahead and now ask the tool. This is very important because the point is now you're not restricted to only adding simple tools. You can have a complete workflow which finally just ends up here, right? The way I'm thinking about utilizing this is building complex workflows and having MCP take care of all the requirements of everything, right? If I just bring you back to this particular option, right, this particular server, you will always see that we have to add everything in one after another, add multiple options, and still build a multiple workflow. What you can have is you can have multiple tools here. We can add as many tools as we want, and we don't need to think. Imagine the number of tools that exist here, right? And we don't need to think about how they look in the workflow and everything. You can just use prompts to access all your tools, and that's the beauty of MCP. It created the tool. It very simply went here, and then finally it used an artifact to generate what we have got here. You have this again, whatever, like, people have put, like, again, but again, life's final chapter newsletter hopefully like went a bit too crazy, but you get a response from it. So it's a very simple tool. You can use obviously for much complex stuff and everything else. I'll link it to multiple other workflows. Let's try to send an email with this content in HTML with this content at bahety.com and just send that over. I think it should be able to send it. I don't think there should be any problems with this, right? It's finally writing an email. I don't know how the email is going to come. I do think it's going to come in Markdown, not in exactly HTML, because it will try to paraphrase. The email has been successfully sent, and this is just the beauty of it. Now you have just keep running, and I'm going to refresh this and see. Perfect. It came out not perfectly well, but that's also when you understand you need to be probably a bit better. We could have defined it always respond in HTML or something like that, and then it would have come better. We need to still design some part of the workflows, but it works. You can have multiple MCP servers that run across. The only thing I'll say is go ahead and test it out. It's really, really cool. And one last thing that I want to tell you is, let's say if you want to add, so what you can do is you can also add your own server here. You can add an endpoint. So click save on this and come back to the previous server. I have this already old MCP server that is running, so I can come back here, copy this, and now I can extend all the tools that I already had. Come here and input this. Once I input this, it will now be able to utilize an execute step, and you can select which tool you want to use from all the tools. So all the MCP tool client I've built with the different tools, I can link them here. This is called the MCP client node, and you can use it as you require, and you can select which tool you want to have and which tool you want to select. This is super cool because this allows you to extend your MCP one single server with multiple clients. So this, I can say this is my Gmail MCP client, and anytime I want to build a new server trigger, I can add multiple clients by just linking it together. So I don't need to do that extra step of again dragging and dropping all the other tools. I would just say go ahead and test this out, and you will have the code for adding MCPs into Claude in the description. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.